Assalamualaikum and a very good day to the grading panel, lecturer and the audience. My name is Nur Adriana and today, me and my team members would like to present our group project regarding Human Resource Information System, which is PayrollPanda and Jibble. PayrollPanda is a cloud-based payroll and HR system developed in Malaysia, mainly for small and medium-sized enterprises. It automates payroll processing, including salary calculations, statutory contributions such as PCB, EPF and SOCSO, and employee record management. The system is LHDN authorized, ensuring compliance with Malaysian tax regulations and integrates with accounting software like Xero and QuickBooks to improve efficiency and reduce errors. Moving to the company details, Novel Group operates as a private limited company, with its headquarters located at Level 8, Menara UOA Bangsa, Kuala Lumpur. The company has completed all required statutory registrations, including EPF, SOCSO, EIS, and HRDF, and is registered under the compulsory HRDF category with a 1% contribution rate. For the company payroll cycle, the company established a payroll cycle that ends on 7th day of each month. This cut-off date determines the final day for capturing employee attendance, overtime, leave, allowance, and deductions. The payroll month is assigned to the month in which the cycle ends, meaning that work performed from the 8th of the previous month until the 7th of the current month is processed under the current month's payroll. These payroll cycle settings are chosen to ensure accuracy and efficiency in payroll management. Ending the payroll cycle on the 7th day provides sufficient time for the HR and payroll teams to review and verify payroll data before salary payment. Assigning the payroll to the month in which the cycle ends helps align salary records with the actual payment period, ensuring clearer financial reporting. Overall, this payroll cycle supports timely salary payments, better payroll control, and effective human resource management. Next, the company payroll policy. This payroll policy applies to employee working at the headquarters and follows a monthly payroll basis. It is set as the default payroll policy and is used for fixed salary HQ employees who work regular office hours 5 days a week. For salary calculations, salary proration and unpaid leave are calculated based on calendar days. This ensures that salary deductions or adjustments are fair when an employee joins mid-month or takes unpaid leave. For overtime and leave pay, the company uses fixed days of 26 days. It is important to note that this does not mean employees work 26 days a month. Instead, the 26 days are used as a standard calculation base to convert monthly salary into daily and hourly rates. This allows overtime and leave pay to be calculated consistently every month. This payroll policy is chosen because HQ employees have stable monthly salaries and predictable working hours. Using calendar days ensures fair salary adjustment, while fixed days provide consistent overtime and leave calculations. This payroll policy applies to employees who are paid on a daily basis, such as part-time, temporary, or casual workers. Under this policy, employees are paid based on the actual number of days worked rather than receiving a fixed monthly salary. The overtime calculation for this policy is based on 8 working hours per day. This means that any work performed beyond 8 hours in a single day is considered overtime and will be calculated accordingly. This daily payroll policy is chosen because it provides flexibility for both the company and employees. It simplifies payroll calculations, allows better control of labor costs, and is suitable for short-term or operational roles where working hours may vary. Now we will look at the employees. There are 8 types of employees in the company, which is first, employee on monthly salary. Aina Sofia binti Ahmad holds the position of marketing manager at the headquarters. She is a full-time employee and is paid on a monthly basis. Monthly salary payment is suitable for her role because it involves fixed working hours, consistent responsibilities, and long-term employment. Next, employee on hourly salary. Trisha Ong is a part-time worker working at the branch. Unlike full-time staff, she is paid on an hourly basis rather than receiving a fixed monthly salary. Her wages are calculated based on the actual number of hours worked each day, which allows flexibility in scheduling and fair compensation. Moving on, employees on daily salary. Arjun A.L. Kumar is employed as a customer service staff at the branch and is paid on a daily basis. Under this payment method, his wages are calculated based on the actual number of days he worked rather than a fixed monthly salary. Next, employee without EIS contribution. Muhammad Isi bin Abu is employed as a cleaner at the headquarters and is currently 63 years old. Although he is an active employee, he is not required to contribute to the employment insurance system. Under EIS regulation, employees aged 60 years and above are exempted from EIS contribution. Now we will look at the employee without mandatory EPF contribution. Siti Aisyah binti Zaid is an active employee of the company and is currently 62 years old. She is not subject to mandatory EPF contribution due to her age. Under EPF regulations, employees who are above 60 years old are no longer required to contribute mandatorily to EPF. Any EPF contribution made after this age is voluntary. Now, for interns. Muhammad Haikal bin Rashid is an intern working at the headquarters. As an intern, he does not receive a fixed salary like permanent employees. Instead, he is provided with a monthly allowance of 900 ringgit. Now we will look at the employees who is non-Malaysian but has a PR status. Ng Wei Lau is a non-Malaysian employee who holds permanent resident or PR status and is working as an assistant designer at the headquarters. Although he is not a Malaysian citizen, his PR status allows him to be employed on a full-time basis under similar payroll condition as Malaysian employees. With PR status, he is eligible for statutory contribution such as EPF, SOSO and EIS. Lastly, non-Malaysian employee without a PR status. Justin Blackwood is a non-Malaysian employee who does not hold permanent resident status and is working as a finance manager at the headquarters. He is employed under a valid work permit and holds managerial positions with fixed responsibilities and regular working hours. As a Malaysian without PR, EPF contribution is not mandatory and may be applied on a voluntary basis, while other statutory contributions are processed in accordance with applicable regulations. Now, I would like to show on how to manually add employee in the system. To manually add an employee, the user accesses the dashboard and selects employees from the left side menu. Then, the user clicks add employee to create a new employee profile. Next, the user enters the employee's personal information, including name, nationality, identification numbers, and others. After that, the user fills in the employment details such as position, salary, starting date, employee ID, and worker status. Finally, the user assigns the employee to the appropriate department, location, work schedule, payroll policy, and payroll cycle. Once all the details are completed and saved, the employee profile becomes active in the payroll system. Moving to bulk upload employees, the user goes to the employee section from the dashboard and clicks bulk upload, then selects upload employees. Next, the user downloads the PayrollPanda employee template and fills in the required personal and employment details following the provided format. Once completed, the template is saved as a CSV file and uploaded into the system. The system will validate the data and highlight any errors for correction. After verification, the employees are successfully added and activated in the payroll system. This method saves time and ensures accurate data entry for multiple employees. Now, I would like to explain about the process of adding new employee, including information from their previous employer. When adding a new employee, the user first selects the employee starting date in the employment information section, as this determines when the payroll will begin. Next, the user goes to the payroll menu in the employee profile and selects the TP3 form option. This form is required if the employee has worked for another employer within the same year. The user then fills in the previous employer's details, prior income, and tax deductions. This information allows the system to calculate the employee's PCB accurately for the remaining months. Once saved, the system combines the employee's previous and current income to ensure correct tax calculation and compliance. Lastly, I will explain steps of managing employee who leaves the company due to death. First, when an employee leaves the company, the HR administrator goes to the employee section and clicks on the archive button. This allows the company to record employees who are no longer active in the system. For employees who leave the company due to death, the HR administrator must open the employee profile and clicks on the Forms tab. The form that must be used is TP228. This form is submitted to LHDN when an employee who is subject to tax has passed away. For those who left the company due to leaving the country, it is the same way, which is when an employee leaves the company, the HR goes to the employee section and clicks on the archive button. In this case, the required form is CP21. CP21 must be submitted to LHDN at least 30 days before the employee leaves Malaysia, provided the employee will be overseas for more than 3 months. And lastly, for employees who leave the company due to a new job opportunity, the method is the same with previous cases, but the form that will be used is TP3 for leavers. This TP3 form contains details of the employee's income and tax deductions during the year. The completed form is given to the employee so that it can be submitted to their new employer. So that is all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Siti Aminah binti Ahmad. So I will continue with the payroll run. To begin the payroll process, first go to the payroll section in the system. Next, select the month that you want to run payroll for. For example, January. After choosing the month, click payroll for proceed. At this stage, you will be able to review the payroll details, include employee and employer contributions such as EPF, SOCSO, and EIS. If attendance tracking is required, the system can also be linked to Jibble to ensure accurate working hours. Once you have reviewed the information and confirm that everything is correct, click continue, then click approve payrolls. The system will automatically generate the payroll based on the approved data. After the payroll generates successfully, the payroll process is complete and ready for payment. After the payroll process is completed, you will be able to see several payment results including bank payment, manual payment, payroll file, and individual payment. For bank payment, the system allows you to generate batch payment for statutory and payroll items such as EIS, EPF, EPF tax, payroll, PCB, SOCSO, and SOCSO tax. Next, for statutory file, you can download the required documents including payment schedule, EIS, EPF, PCB, SOCSO, and SOCSO plus EIS file. After that, to issue employee salary, scroll down to the payslip section and click on Generate Payslip. Once generated, the payslip will be available and can be shared to employee for their salary details. To add payroll item for an employee, first go to payroll section, then choose the employee you want to update. For example, I select Arjun anak lelaki Kumar. Next, select on Edit Payroll Item. After that, click Select Item and choose the payroll item you want to add. For example, I add bonus for 500 ringgit. Once the details are entered, click Save. You will then be able to see the updated result showing the employee's new payroll item. In PayrollPanda, payroll item can be added through either Employee tab or Payroll tab, depending on the type and frequency of the payroll item. The Payroll tab is mainly used for long-term and recurring payroll items that form part of employees' regular salary structure. For example, basic salary, fixed allowances, and ongoing benefits. Once these items are added under Employee tab, they are automatically applied in every payroll cycles. This helps reduce competitive manual entry and ensure consistency in salary calculations. On the other hand, the Payroll tab is designed for temporary or one-time payroll items that apply only for specific payroll month. These include overtime, bonuses, commission, or unpaid leave deduction. Items added are affect only the selected month and do not carry forward for future payroll period unless they are added again. To create a custom payroll item, first go to Payroll Setting, then click on Payroll Items. Next, select Add Custom Payroll Items. After that, fill in the required details. For example, I create a custom item called Hostel Deduction about 500 ringgit. Once the information is completed, click Save. After saving, the hostel deduction will appear in the payroll item list and can be used for payroll processing. To download the payroll summary, first go to Payroll section, then select the month that has already been approved. For example, January. Next, under Payroll file, click on Payroll Summary to download it. You can repeat the same process for February once the payroll has been approved. However, payroll summary cannot be generated for all months at the same time. December cannot be selected because the system is already in year 2026. March also cannot be generated yet because the January payroll process is not been fully completed. In simple conclusion, the correct process is to complete payroll sequentially, January 1st, followed by February, and then March. To set up year-to-date or YTD data for an employee, first click on Employee section, then choose the employee you want to update. For example, I choose Mikael bin Muhammad. Next, go to the employee profile and click on Employment. As shown, the employee start date with the company is 2nd February 2026. This means that the employee worked at the previous company in January. After that, click on Payroll and select Monthly YTD data. Then, fill in the salary and relevant payroll detail for the employee previous company. This ensures accurate YTD calculation for payroll and statutory contributions. I think that is all for me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Anusana binti Mat Yazid. Next, I will explain our use of Jibble, which is a time tracking and attendance management system used together with PayrollPanda. First of all, what is Jibble? Jibble is a cloud-based time tracking and attendance management system that helps businesses manage employee working time more effectively. The main purpose of Jibble is to ensure that employers only pay employees based on the actual time spent working. This helps reduce issues such as time theft, body punching, and attendance errors. Since Jibble is a cloud-based, all attendance data is recorded digitally and can be accessed anytime, which makes the process more efficient, organized, and reliable. For our system setup, we created a Jibble organization using the same organization as PayrollPanda, which is Novel Group. Using the same organization is important because it allows employee data to be synchronized, attendance records to flow smoothly into payroll, and payroll calculations to become more accurate. This integration reduces manual work and minimizes human error. Next, users are added to Jibble. The employees are synced directly from PayrollPanda into Jibble. This means we do not need to manually re-enter employee details. This step ensures consistency between attendance data and payroll records, making payroll processing faster and more accurate. After setting up the organization and users, we move on to time tracking rules. In Jibble, time tracking rules are applied through groups. Groups are important because they allow different employees to follow different attendance rules based on their job nature and work location. For our setup, we created 4 groups and each group has one specific tracking category. The first group is HQ office staff. This group uses the face recognition feature. The function of face recognition is to ensure that employees clock in using their own face, preventing others from clocking in on their behalf. This feature is suitable for office staff who work at a fixed location and need secure attendance verification. The second group is cleaners. For this group, we applied location per time entry. This feature records the employee's location every time they clock in or clock out. The function is to ensure that cleaners are physically present at the workplace when they start and end their work. This method is suitable because cleaners work at a fixed location and do not require advanced monitoring. The third group is Melaka branch staff. This group uses live location routes when clocked in. The function of this feature is to track employee movement throughout their working hours. It allows management to monitor staff activities during working time, which is useful for branch or mobile-based work. The final group is remote, design, and creative staff. This group uses screenshot monitoring. The function of this feature is to capture screenshots of the employee's screen while they are clocked in. This helps ensure productivity and accountability for employees who work remotely, where physical supervision is not possible. We applied only one category per group to ensure clarity, fairness, and ease of management. Each tracking feature is matched with the employee's job nature, making the system practical and appropriate.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Syahira binti Zamri. I'm going to continue the presentation to leave management system. In this leave management system consists of two, which are public holidays and time off. First, I will start with public holidays and demonstrate how to set up. Firstly, need to add two calendars for different states. So the first step is go to time off and holiday section, and then on the holidays tab, click on add new calendar. Then it will appear the details section. Fill up the details such as calendar name and select the country or region, and click save. After adding the calendar, it will show all days of public holidays entitlement for each states. After that, need to assign those calendars to different people. So here how to set that up. First, go to people section, and it will show the list of all members. Then click on the three dots at the end of each name. Then click on assign and click on holiday calendar. And then select the holiday calendar for the member according to where the member are working at, which is Kuala Lumpur or Malacca. Next, moving on to paid and unpaid leave. I will demonstrate on how to set up annual leave, medical leave, hospitalization leave, and unpaid leave. I will start with annual leave. First, go to time off policies tab, which is next to the holidays tab. Then click on the add time off policy, which is at the top right. Then it will appear policy details. Fill up the details such as name of the policy, which is annual leave, and then select the members that are entitled to the leave. At the compensation section, leave it as paid. Then scroll down a bit, fill the number of days of the entitlement. As for annual leave, according to Employment Act 1955, the annual leave entitlement is based on the length of services of employees. If less than 2 years, entitled to 8 days. If 2 to 5 years of working, entitled to 12 days. And lastly, if more than 5 years of work, entitled to 16 days of annual leave. Continue to medical leave. The steps for set up the medical leave policy is quite similar as annual leave. Only a slight difference, which in terms of the name and number of days. For medical leave, on the details, the name of the policy is filled up as medical leave, and for the number of days are followed compliance to the Employment Act 1955, which depending on the length of services. For employees who work less than 2 years, entitled to 14 days. Those works with 2 to 5 years, entitled to 18 days, and lastly, work more than 5 years, entitled to 22 days. So all members will be selected according to their entitlement. Next, move to hospitalization leave. The steps also similar to annual and medical leave. There's a slight difference which in terms of the number of days and the member sections. As for hospitalization leave, the number of days entitled for all members are 60 days, which compliance with Employment Act 1955. So as everyone are entitled to this leave, just leave the member sections blank. It shows that everyone are entitled to this leave. Last but not least, unpaid leave. The steps also similar to previous, but on the details section, just fill the name of the policy. And for the member section, just leave it blank. It shows that everyone are entitled for unpaid leave. That's all from me. I will pass to the next person to continue the presentation.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Adam Ashraf bin Abu Sama. Next, I will explain part 4.0, PayrollPanda and Jibble. This section demonstrates how PayrollPanda and Jibble are integrated as a unified human resource information system. PayrollPanda functions as the core payroll processing system, while Jibble functions as the time tracking and attendance management system. Through this integration, employee data, attendance record, overtime, unpaid leave, and payroll information are synchronized automatically between both systems. The following explanation will demonstrate how the integration works in practice based on each question provided. For part A, explain how to sync employees from PayrollPanda to Jibble. To begin, we access the integration section in PayrollPanda and select Jibble. Instead of syncing employees one by one, all employees are selected to save time and improve efficiency. Next, we click Add to Jibble, tick the option to send invitation by email, and then confirm the action. Once the integration is completed, all employees are successfully synchronized into Jibble. The absence of the Jibble logo beside employee name in PayrollPanda indicates that the synchronization has been completed successfully. For part B, explain how overtime is detected and synchronized into payroll. Overtime data must be recorded in Jibble. In Jibble, we go to timesheet and create a new time entry. The scheduled working hours are set at 8 hours, and to demonstrate overtime, the working duration is recorded as 9 hours and 30 minutes, resulting in 1.5 hour of overtime. An activity is selected before saving the entry. After the timesheet is updated, we return to PayrollPanda and refresh the payroll data by syncing with Jibble. When the employee's payroll details are open, the overtime appears automatically, showing that the overtime data has been successfully synchronized. For part C, explain how unpaid leave is recorded and reflected in payroll. First, Jibble is accessed and the time off section is selected. An unpaid leave entry is created by choosing the employee and inserting 2 working days of unpaid leave. A note or supporting document may be added if required. The unpaid leave must then be approved, as unapproved leave will not be synchronized. Once approved, payroll data is synced in PayrollPanda. As a result, the employee's payroll reflects 2 days of unpaid leave, which is automatically deducted from the salary. For part D, explain how leave status can be monitored for all employees. Leave status is monitored through Jibble's time off overview feature. By selecting this here, the system displays all leave record and their approval status for every employee, but only for this year. This allows HR to monitor approved and pending leave in a centralized view and ensure that only approved leave affect payroll. For last part, which is part E, explain how employees can view their payslip through the system. Payroll must first be processed and approved in PayrollPanda. After approval, payslips are published to Jibble. Employees must have a valid email address to log into the employee portal. Once logged in, employees can access their profile through account setting and view or download their payslip. This employee self-service feature improves transparency and reduces administrative workload for HR. In conclusion, this project demonstrates how PayrollPanda and Jibble work together as an integrated HRIS to manage payroll and human resource operation efficiently. The integration allows employee attendance, overtime, and leave data to be synchronized automatically into payroll, which improves accuracy and reduces manual processing. In addition, employee self-service features such as digital payslip enhance transparency and reduce administrative workload for HR. Overall, the use of PayrollPanda and Jibble shows how a modern HRIS can support efficient payroll management, ensure compliance with statutory requirements, and improve overall organizational effectiveness. That's all from our group. Thank you.